Hello and welcome to Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the podcast where we talk about 2 movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. Getting into today's movie, we are talking about The Day Time Ended. Or as I kept telling Ryan, the daytime stopped and you had trouble finding this movie. I forgot the name of the movie. This movie
This is
is...
it,
Oh,
it's
God.
a very appropriate tile.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Um, I picked this one, Ryan, randomly, as you could maybe tell. What happened was I picked a year on Letterboxd, 1979, and I organized it by I think most popular. And then I just went down and just saw what was like one of the more popular movies that I hadn't seen, and this one was on that list, and it had horrible ratings. And I saw Mystery Science Theater 3000 covered it, which is where a lot of the logs come from. So I was like, why not? We might be able to get a good laugh out of this one.
Maybe a little off topic here, Nathan. Would you consider if you watched a Mystery Science Theater version of a movie, is that considered loggable?
No, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't consider it watching the movie. I would say you can log the Mystery Science Theater episode because it's like watching a movie, but like it's not the real experience, right? Because like I saw people logging this, giving it a really high rating because Mystery Science 3 Theater 3000 made it funny. That's not watching the movie, right?
It's not. It's
Yeah.
totally not.
Do not give this movie good ratings. Do not. As I was saying to Ryan right before this, is like, I don't even know how we're going to talk about this movie. I can talk a little bit about the history of it. It's directed by John Bud Cardos, who's just kind of just like a B movie director. He's directed like a bunch of stuff. But the most important part about this is, did you happen to see who the producer of this movie was?
Oh yeah, right at the beginning of the movie, Charles Band.
Yeah, Charles Band of Full Moon Productions is the producer of this movie. So, you know what this movie really reminded me of the more and more I went on? Remember the movie Laser Blast that we covered? This is just like
Yeah,
Laser Blast.
I would dare say Laser Blast was more entertaining though.
Oh, oh yeah, Laser Blast was way more entertaining. Oh, and Richard Band does the music here. Of course, Charles always gets his brother in to do the music of these movies. Um, God, this, how do you even get into this movie? I should just say the movie starts with like a narration by some disembodied voice saying some weird stuff.
Long narration.
Yes, long narration. Does it have any point? No, it has no point. It's not even a character that comes up. It is just something to throw in there. And that's kind of this movie. This movie has like 55, maybe more concepts, and it wants to do every single sci-fi concept it wants. It wants to just throw everything at the wall, and this movie is surprisingly one of the most confusing movies I've watched. It is nonsensical.
It's that's the best word for it. It's just complete nonsense.
Yes.
Um, and not in a good way where it's just like completely off the wall stuff. It's just a lot of random ideas that are just kind of thrown at you, but they're not stitched together in any sort of way. There's no cohesion to this at all. I mean, I couldn't tell you of like what was the like what was the reason all this stuff was happening, or even like what the purpose was. I mean, I feel like they were trying to say something, but
Hmm.
it wasn't really clear on what it is that they were wanting to say. So I'm assuming like it had something to do with like the concept of time,
Yes.
and uh I really don't know.
I don't know either. Because it just doesn't do it or explain anything really well. But I guess I'll start. This movie starts off quite boring, to be honest with you. It's about a family, and they just got picked up from the airport, and they're going back to
Starring
their
Jim
home.
Davis, the creator of Garfield, isn't in this movie.
No way. That's the creator of Garfield.
Jim Davis.
No way. You're lying. That's not the Jim Davis. No, I know it's not. But yes, it does star Jim Davis of Dallas, of course, right? And also Christopher Mitchum is in this, which is the son of Robert Mitchum.
one fact I did learn. So Charles Mitchum's son would actually go on to star in Demonic Toys, which is another Charles Band movie. So it's like a nice generation, three generations of Mitchums probably in
Yeah,
Charles Band movies.
I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Mitchum like found his way into Charles Band movie at some point. Everybody does. That man has. If you look through his filmography, it is insane. It rivals the other producer that
Roger
we talked.
Corman.
Yeah, Roger Corman. Maybe Corman even puts out better stuff though, because the thing with band movies, just like this one, is just kind of boring. Because like here we have this, there was a supernova that took place 200 years ago, and now the Earth is feeling effects from it, and there's radiation and powers just kind of going out all over the place, and we hear this over the radio over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, and I say over and over, it is constantly going the whole movie like there's an explosion and there's radiation, so we're really getting pounded in our head that something weird is going on, especially when they go back, the whole family goes back to their ranch home, and there's the whole scene where they get a pony. It's like, hey, look, we got, because there's a little girl, we got you a pony, which I don't, there's something funny about that.
Well, I like, well, before that, they arrive at the ranch and they're just like, it's like, yep, it's the wave of the future. This whole house is solar powered.
Yeah, that just shows you that this family is future thinking. They know science.
Well, were you confused at like the relationship of some of the people in this family? Because
Yes.
uh there's there's the father and he has a wife and they
Hmm.
have a daughter together. And then there's uh the husband's father and his wife. So, and then there's like a teenager in this movie, and I thought like he was uh Charles Mitchum's son in this one, but he keeps like calling the older, like the one like I thought was his
Yeah.
grandpa, he keeps calling him dad. So I'm like, so wait, I was like, so wait, is he Charles Mitchum's brother in the context of this movie, or
I actually don't get it. I didn't get it at all, especially like why was he there? Because the little girl at one point goes, "It's nice to have a man around the house," which is just kind of weird to say about him. But he's so young, right? Like he looks like a teenager. And then the dad, or like he would think it's his grandpa, I'm telling you, he looks so old. So just the ages make no sense here. Time
well,
is
that's what.
stopped in some fashion.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm like, okay. He kept saying dad. I mean, because that would be really bizarre to call your a grandfather dad.
Yeah,
For the
nobody does that.
and so that that's just why I had to assume that that old man was his dad and he was just Charles Mitchum's brother. And so that would
Hmm.
mean like that little girl was his niece.
Yes, yeah. Um,
But yeah, but yeah, they get a nice little pony and they're like, oh, it's a pony.
yeah, and I think the little girl's name is Jenny, which
Hmm.
is, yeah, and she ends up running off while everybody is looking around the ranch because it's been destroyed. Somebody's robbed the place, and then she runs off and finds a giant glowing pyramid triangle spaceship that she isn't scared of. She loves it. She goes up to and hugs it, calls it her best friend. It looks like trash. It looks horrible, as do all the special effects in this movie.
Well, you forgot to mention like the her pony runs off and it disappears and it's like, where's
Mhm.
my pony? And then she
Can
like
you help
goes up
me
to the
find my
pi-
pony?
yeah, goes up to the pyramid. Can you help me find my pony? And then like the pyramid like sucks this little girl in, and then like 2 seconds later, it shoots her and the pony out, and she's like, "Thank you." Like she's that's
Yeah,
like that's a totally normal thing.
yeah, this little girl wouldn't be scared to death by it. No, she becomes friends with this thing, tries to tell her parents or the family about it. And of course she's like, look, there's a giant glowing thing outside, and it's not there when they go out. So it's kind of a mystery. Um, yeah, and then it's like them getting ready to leave, or like for getting ready to call the police for like 45 minutes of this movie. I don't know, nothing really happens. There's some really bizarre scenes where uh where the older two, I'm guessing the man and his wife, the grandpa or dad and his wife, they go out and they see the two UFOs, but they're out walking alone. And he's like, what does he say? He says something like, "Oh, don't you love this? Come on, you love this, don't you?" And then she's like, "What do you want me to say? That this turns me on?" This old lady says that. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
There's two characters in this movie that I want to see have like a nice sensual scene. It's those two.
I know, yeah. It's really bizarre for this movie because like there's nothing like that ever again the rest of this movie. Um what is there even talk about in these
Uh,
middle scenes?
so okay, I mean, it, they have like the little flashing like because the dad like Charles Mitchum's character,
Hmm.
he's just like, sorry guys, I gotta work tonight. Like it's just
That's right.
I gotta go, and he just immediately drops him off and leaves, and he's basically just like out of the movie for like 75% of it. I mean, you get like little scenes like intercut, like
Yeah.
in the middle where he's just like, you gotta get home. Like I really gotta get back to them. And he keeps getting kind of held up at certain situations.
Hmm.
Um,
And it's kind of funny. Like he gets stuck at the gas station and all the power's down, so he can't like pay with card. So he has to pay with cash. And I think the guy at the gas station has to like use his own supply of gas to give him gas. Really like
Uh, it was
useless scenes.
such so essential to this movie. We had to know how did he get home and why
Yeah.
did it take so long?
Oh, of course. And this movie's only 79 minutes. I hate when we have to talk about movies like this that are under an hour 20 and do nothing and have filler is what I mean, and have filler. And a movie with an hour 10-minute runtime doesn't need filler. Otherwise, don't make the movie. Like just don't you don't have a movie.
Yeah, and it's really a lot too. I mean, like a movie of that length should fly by.
Yes, it doesn't. This movie's so
It does
boring,
not.
right?
It is very boring. I mean, there are scenes where, you kind of go like, huh, like that's kind of intriguing, but then
Yes.
it's completely gone, like the next scene, and
Hmm.
you're like, okay. And then you're kind of just wondering like, what was the point of that? And you don't really get those answers.
Yeah, I really wish it just played into the time part that's in the title because I think that was interesting. Because later on in the movie, the youngest son, he is out in like the barn, and then God, Jim Davis comes back, right? And supposedly Jim
He
Davis had
says, I
just
hate Mondays.
yeah, he says I hate Mondays, I love Odie. Right, or no, that's that. I guess Jim Davis, what personality type does he have? Who does he relate to most in his stories? Garfield.
Uh, yeah, probably John. He's probably John.
Yeah, he's probably a John fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
uh
And he calls his son in this movie. His name is Nermal, by the way.
oh yeah, I forgot to mention his son Nermal. Yes. Yeah. And then the bad aliens are called Heathcliff, I believe, the super evil yeah, they
Oh, right, right.
yes, yeah. um but yeah, so what happens is time is in a loop because supposedly Jim Davis had just left, and then when he came back, he's like, "Well, you just said you just left," and I guess time isn't moving at all, is what they're saying because Jim Davis goes, "Well, I guess we're stuck in a space time warp or something." That was that line did make me laugh. That this old man is like, "Yeah, we're in a space time warp." Like.
I, and that's the other thing too, like in this movie, it has everyone in there is like very subdued reactions to all
Yes.
this stuff. I mean, I think probably the only one that I say is like actually feels like freaked out by this sort of thing is Jenny's mom. She
Hmm.
seems like to be the only one that like, because there's a scene where Jenny kind of disappears for like a minute, and
Hmm.
she's kind of freaking out because Jenny, she's like the one that first experiences all this stuff because she's like in her bedroom and then all the lights turn green, and then
That's right.
there's like a little tiny ugly alien looking thing like dancing in her bedroom, and and just is like "Rrr, woo," and just like it floats across the room and everything,
Yes.
and you're just kind of wondering like, huh? And she runs into her closet, and then this other uh, that robot spaceship looking thing. It looks like a floating camcorder, basically.
Yeah, it's
And
it's supposed to be like a spaceship, but it just looks like a camcorder, and it's just an image too. It doesn't really have any moving parts for a lot of it, and it's just kind of like floating across the screen.
yeah, but did so you think like, oh my God, like something's gonna happen to Jenny. She's gonna get kidnapped, or this is
Hmm.
gonna be the plot of the movie. They're gonna kidnap this little girl, and they're gonna have to figure out some way to get her back.
Hmm.
Because Jim Davis, he runs in and they find out Jenny's disappeared. They're like, oh my God, Jenny's gone. And they're all running out through the house and they're all freaking out. They're like, oh, we need to call the police. And then
Hmm.
Jenny's like, I'm right here, mommy. I was playing with my friend. And it's like, oh, thank goodness. And that's
Yeah.
that that part of that little alien, all that, that's gone. Like
Uh,
that's never brought
yeah.
up again.
It was so bizarre to me that they didn't get brought up or was like the alien that like actually mattered in this movie because there are other aliens, giant claymation aliens, that kind of terrorize the family. I don't really know the connection too well, but there is a really funny scene where the mom is at the door and then she hears a knock at the door, like a and then and then she opens the door and it's like this brute alien, giant alien. And I just think something really funny about the idea of this giant alien knocking on these people's door before they go in. At least he
Yeah,
knew to do that. And she like
but
screams.
they're polite.
Yeah, they're polite. They kind of have that running around.
Uh,
Time warp
we do get
happens.
we do get multiple scenes of that one. The only consistent one is that camcorder looking thing because it does kind of float near the family, and Jim Davis pulls out his gun and actually shoots at it, and then
Mhm,
this thing has like a tractor beam, and it's able
mhm,
to stop the bullet mid-air, and
mhm,
so he has this protective force field. Like the younger son has like a log and throws it at that thing, and it's
mhm.
still able to stop that. So you kind of think like, oh, okay, this is the main thing. Like they're gonna have to try to stop this thing. Nope. After he throws the log at it, that thing's gone. That's never seen again.
Yeah, which is like, what kind of movie does this? Like, I get it, like throwing every idea at the wall, but like, just to take ideas and throw them away like that, it makes this movie so messy and hard to follow. Which is like, I try my best, like to, like, I feel like I understand most movies, but this one, I seriously, I've already said it, but seriously, like moments like that where things just completely drop out and new concepts come in, I just didn't understand, and thus I became bored, right? It was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, so why am I even focused on this movie? And I hate to
Yeah.
be that way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously neither one of us need a movie to be spelled out about what it's
No.
about, but I mean, like I need some type of either like some type of connecting, like a very thin thread. And I
Hmm.
mean, I didn't really feel like I got one here because like I mean, we're both kind of just like sitting like I was like, okay, when's the plot going to kick in? Like
Hmm.
when is the antagonist going to kick in? When we're going to figure out what's going on because we really haven't figured out what's going on, what's causing this, who's doing this. It's all been kind of just random scenes just kind of like stitched together, and I'm like, again, I'm just kind of wondering like when are they going to start spelling out some answers here? And I really, I don't, I mean, do you think they were trying to think like way too broadly? Like, do you really think like there was somebody who was just like, this is the smartest piece of media I've ever written
That
before? Or do you think it was just kind of like, we have all these really cool ideas and we really just want to show them off?
It could go either way. I want to say that someone thought they were really smart. And I just want to say that because it has a lot of science jargon in it. And I don't, and that gives me the idea that maybe it was more because like they really go into depth about explaining the supernova, how like, oh, it might have reached us now, but it's 200 years in the past. I think someone You know what? I'll go with a mix of both. I think someone thought they were really smart, but then they realized like, oh, I only have a mix of ideas. Let's just make a movie out of it. Um, I just got it. I mean, it's just baffling no matter what. There's no easy explanation for this movie. It's just misdelivered and it's not avant-garde. You know, we are talking about this movie like if it was avant-garde, maybe then I'd be like, okay, but this movie is trying to be a regular movie. Like this is just like a regular straight to whatever movie. It doesn't do it well. It ends on a happy note though. So at least we
Well,
got that.
yeah, well, because they are in the barn, and then just a bunch of random light flashes happen. They're all kind of like falling around all over the place. Like
hmm
Jenny disappears at certain point, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, come back,
Well,
Jenny!"
no,
And
that was another moment that made me laugh because Jenny's standing in the middle of the desert and it's a shot of him going, Jenny, and then a shot of her, and then they just replay the same clip of him going, Jenny. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, she disappears. She goes with them because I guess the actual alien that she's talking to was just a friend and was trying to help them. That though the Earth was going to radiate, that they were going to take them to some place outside of time.
yeah, and at that point, I was just kind of really mentally checked out of the movie.
hmm
I just because I was just, at this point, I'm like thinking like, okay, we're like an hour into this movie, and I really
hmm
still don't know what's going on, and I don't think they're going to explain any of this further.
No, and they didn't because they go out and then they're just in like this beautiful new planet with a bunch of plants and Jim Davis, he's just like, oh yeah, we did it. This is the best place we can be. This is where we want to be. It's so beautiful. Nobody's scared that Earth is destroyed. Nobody's like, oh my God, we're on a new planet. Nobody's scared. Everybody is just happy and joyous that they've made it to this new planet. Stupid.
For a horrible ending. Like it's just like
Yeah.
I I was just baffled. I was just like, what? Like what? Like I
Yeah.
didn't know what they were going for. And I'm like, what is that town? Where are they? Like, why are they okay with this?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was just so many questions where I was just kind of like annoyed at this
hmm
movie at that point. And I mean, the only props I could give it, I was like, with the giant monsters, it was like kind of entertaining, I guess. Like, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, huh, that was neat. Where like, because Jim Davis like stabs one in the head with the pitchfork.
Yes. Yeah.
And if any of this sounds entertaining to you, it's not. I just want to make that
No.
very, very
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
Like, I, I know it sounds kind of crazy the way we're explaining it, but it's not at all. And I cannot I cannot not recommend this movie enough. So I I don't I mean for me this was really bad, Nathan. Like it's
Yeah.
just like one of the worst we've done. And like it's not enough to like actively piss me off like certain movies where I was just like I hate this movie. I mean like I said, I mean if I was gonna give it any props it's for the claymation, but
Yeah. Yeah.
just really bad performances, confusing story, and just all around just a boring waste of time. It's a really bad one. I cannot say just don't watch it.
Yeah. Do not watch this movie. It's a waste of time. It's one of the biggest time wasters I've ever watched. Like nothing really to pull out of this one. Like you said, the claymation. I didn't even like the claymation. I thought it was okay. I mean, for a cheap movie, I just boring, confusing. No point. No point in watching this. Don't check it out. Lowest recommendation.
Yeah, one of the lowest ones I could give.
Yeah. But I do think that wraps it up for this one. Somehow we talked about it, Ryan. We always do. But what are we talking about on Thursday?
Nathan, we are going to be talking about Encounters of the Spooky Kind, which is on the Criterion Channel.
Awesome. So you know it's good. But if you want to email us, you can email us at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us over there. But until next time.
Till next time.